Today, I'm going to read New York's Bravest, based on the don't ignore it. Based on the title and the cover, and here's a little bit of the back cover. Can someone tell me what they think this is about? Cammy.
I think it's about a brave man based on the title.
Brave man based on the title. What do we think his job is? Judy.
To stop fires.
Stop fires. Okay, so this book is written by Mary Pope Osborne.
Yes, I know that.
Guys, can you switch?
Yeah.
Just talking it through.
Did she write the Magic Treehouse?
Yeah.
She did.
I read the whole series.
There we go. So I learned that she wrote the Magic Treehouse. So I'm sure this is going to be a great book. The way that I'm going to read it, can everyone see the cover right now? If you cannot see the cover, move to where you can see it. All right, I'm going to read through it, and we're going to think about courage and how courage is used by our main character today. All right? New York's Bravest. To the memory of the 343 New York City firefighters who gave their lives to save others on September 11th, 2001.
Oh.
Fire, fire, turn out, the fire bell jangled. Come on, boys, said Mo. Mose was the most famous firefighter in New York City. 8 feet tall, Mose had hands as big as Virginia hams. His arms were so strong he could swim the Hudson River in 2 strokes. When others ran away from danger, he ran towards it. Now Mose and his boys rolled out the pumper and headed to the smoke billowing in the sky. Then they ran past horse stables and wooded shanties. They ran past newsboys crying, "Papers, 1 penny!" Then they ran past oystermen, roosters, and ragmen. Suddenly they came to a halt. A horse-drawn trolley was stuck on the tracks, blocking their way. I'll take care of it, boys, said Mose. He lifted the crowded car into the air and then set it down gently and raced on. When Mose got to the building tenement, a woman rushed forward. "Help," she screamed, "my baby's in there." Mose climbed a ladder to the 3rd floor. He hackled the wood with his axe and wedged his body inside. Moments later, he appeared, coughing and covered with soot. "He's alone," the mother cried. "Where's my baby?" As Mose started down the ladder, it caught fire. So Mose leapt through the air and landed on his feet. Then he reached in his hat and pulled out a baby. Thank you, the mother cried. "Just doing my duty, ma'am," said Mose. The mother baked Mose all the pies he could eat. To show their thanks, folks always gave Mose food and drink. Drink barrels of cider and coffee, bushels of oysters and potatoes, mountains of beans and eggs. Raglan gave him their least ragged clothes. Shoeshine boys shined his boots. Everyone knew if they had needed help, they could count on Mose. For years and years, Mose ran uptown and downtown, east and west, putting out fires in tenements, mansions, factories, and stores. One night, the fire bell rang. Fire, fire! An eerie glow lit up the sky. Mose and his boys pulled out the pumper and raced to the piers. A fire in the hotel near the Hudson was roaring out of control. All night, Mose ran in and out of the building, rescuing bankers, bakers, shoemakers, and dressmakers, preachers, and politicians. The hotel burned to ashes, and all the people inside were saved. As the sun came up, Mose's boys packed up to leave. "Wait a minute," one said. "Where's Mose?" The firefighters looked around. They all stared at the burned-out hotel. They grew silent. "I know," one said finally. "He must have jumped in the river." "Yeah, that's it," said another. "He must have swam to Jersey." "Yeah, I bet he's having a big plate of beans and eggs right now." "Yeah, beans and eggs. We'll see him tomorrow." "Yeah." But no one ever saw Mose again. It wasn't long before the rumors started. Did you hear? Moses driving a mule team in the Dakotas. Moses mining gold in California. Moses working in Washington for President Lincoln. For a long time, folks speculated of Mo's whereabouts. Then one night at the firehouse over a game of checkers, an old-timer put the matter to rest. You know what? He said, Mo's ain't any of them places. Truth is, Mo's right here. He's marching with us in parades. He's kicking up his heels at the fancy dances. He's skating by the moonlight on the ice pond in the park. And whatever he climb our ladders towards the blazing sky, he climbs with us. Whenever you save folks, you save them. Whenever we save folks, he saves them too. You see the firefighters, he'll never leave us. He's the very spirit of New York City.
He can't be working for Washington. He can't be
So, the book talked about at the beginning how it was in memory of the firefighters from September 11, 2001. But there was a context to President Lincoln. Do we think this is about the events of 2001?
No.
No. So this is just another comparison to it. So remember I asked to talk about courage?
Mm-hmm.
So how did Mose show his courage throughout the book? Does anyone know what courage is? Let's backtrack. Does anyone know what courage is? I see more hands now. Eric. Not Eric, Andrew, sorry. I'm working on names still.
Courage is something like risking or something.
Courage is risking
Risking for something
and being brave. I'll take one more.
Being really simple, courage is being brave.
Courage is being brave. So according to the definition online, it's the ability to do something that frightens one. So courage is doing something that you're nervous by. What was that?
It's pretty much brave.
Yeah, it's pretty much brave. So how did Mose show his courage?
Brave is an adjective.
Raise an adjective.
And courage is something that you show, like you're showing courage. So it's a little bit different. You don't say somebody's courage.
It's a little different. So how did Mose show his courage? Now we're going back to that question. Yes.
He started saving people's lives.
He started saving people's lives. What else did he do?
He risked his life to save other people.
He risked his life to save others.
He risked his life to save the baby.
To save the baby. Let's take one more.
When people run away from danger, he goes to it.
When people run away from danger, he goes in. Tiani?
Where's Tiani? Come here. Just come around the front. Go ahead, you can get that.
Okay, so some of the examples, does anyone know examples of courage in their everyday life? I don't know if you guys know, but Miss Bass, I have trouble reading out loud. So sometimes you guys notice how I'll stop and I'll go back to it. Or when I was reading out of my mind earlier, I followed with my finger. So it takes a lot of courage for me to read aloud, especially to you guys, because I know it's important that you guys get the correct words. So does anyone see courage in like school, like here at Millstone? Anyone? Yeah.
Teachers have the courage to teach kids even though they might be like nervous to teach things, like the teachers.
Okay. Let's see. Let's have one or two more. Anyone else see courage in the school? Courage at Millstone? I have another example. Does anyone think it takes courage to stand up when someone's being mean to one of our friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if someone's being mean at like recess or in a gym, having the courage to stand up for your friend is important. So, what we're going to do today, Miss King, make sure I'm going to get the directions right. Alright, so I have these shields here, and Miss King and I decorated one that says King on it.
King.
It's really pretty. We decorated it. It's purple, pink, and green.
You see them hanging up on my lunch.
They're down my lunchroom. So what you guys are going to do today is you're going to write one word about courage or something or someone who has courage. Is that correct? So for example, you could put teacher. You could put reader. You could be firefighter. Excuse me. It could be any word that describes courage. You're going to cut it out and also color it in. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any final thoughts on the book we read today? Okay, so I'm going to ask table 2 to go back first. So who's someone from table 2? Who sits at table 2? Me? Take these back to your table, and you guys can get started. Who sits at table 3? Take these. Table 3 can go back.